This is the first installment and introduction to the series entitled Build Your Business into an Asset of Value. A business becomes an asset of value when investors are willing to pay a premium for an ownership stake in the business. It is fair to say that most entrepreneurs start a business not out of a desire to build an asset of value, but out of a need to earn an income. The entrepreneur must make a living. Nothing wrong with that. However, this series is for entrepreneurs aspiring to build a business into an asset of value. A business becomes an asset of value when investors are willing to pay a premium for an ownership stake in the business. In other words, investors are willing to pay more for the business than the value of its assets. Think about this for a moment. Most businesses will end in liquidation. The owner will simply stop trading. Most businesses are sold as an asset sale, where the purchaser is interested in the assets held in the business rather than the business itself. But what type of entrepreneur builds a business into an asset of value? And should all entrepreneurs aspire to build their business into an asset to be sold one day to investors? I don't think so. I suggest that there are 4 types of entrepreneurs and that success for each type means something different. Hustlers. Hustling is entrepreneurship in its crudest incarnation. Success means finding a gap in the market to exploit and use other people's products to make a profit. A good example is a fruit seller who visits the fresh produce market early in the morning to buy fruit in bulk to later sell in small quantities to individuals on the street. Hustling is entrepreneurship in the moment. It is essentially transactional, but hustling does not translate into shareholder value. Pros. Traditional and conventional professionals use a corporate entity, usually a private company, as a vehicle through which to operate. A good example of a pro is an accountant. This is entrepreneurship in a restricted and often regulated form, revolving around a specific skill set vested in the professional operating through the business. Success for a pro means being recognized as an expert in the field, but take the professional out of the business and nothing remains. Replicators. Replicator businesses are essentially copies of competing businesses. An estate agent with many years of experience decides to start her own agency. She tries to differentiate her business by offering her own take on selling properties. But when it boils down to it, the business offers very much the same solution in very much the same way to the same customers. She wins by outselling the competition. Replicator businesses are often started with little or no capital in industries with low barriers to entry. You don't need to buy a replicator business. Just follow a proven recipe and start one yourself. Builders. Businesses with a clearly defined value proposition, derived from a strategy, a set of decisions to create a unique mix of value on 3 levels: value for customers, value for suppliers, and ultimately value for shareholders. Builders build a business to become operationally and financially independent of its owners. The enterprise becomes something like a living thing and potentially an asset of value. This series is dedicated to builders. Please note, there is nothing wrong with being a hustler, pro, or replicator. Far from it. I have the greatest respect for hard-working entrepreneurs of any sort. To successfully run any business is an accomplishment and a testament to the skill and dedication of the business owner. But to develop a business into an asset of value requires a skill set on a much higher level in a particular field of study, namely business finance. Business finance is about creating, developing, and ultimately realizing shareholder value. Hustlers, pros, and replicators think in terms of income. To these entrepreneurs, their business is nothing more than an income generator. But builders think in terms of value, creating, growing, and ultimately realizing value by disposing of the ownership interest in the business at a premium to its asset value. A builder creates value and by doing so builds a business into an asset of value by applying a specific set of skills. Adopt an investor mindset. At the end of the day, the current owner must convince investors to pay for an ownership stake in the business. Investors seek shareholder value. The test for shareholder value is the willingness of external investors to pay a premium for an ownership stake in the business. An entrepreneur aspiring to build a business into an asset of value must adopt the mindset of an investor. Craft a strategy to create value. The entrepreneur must craft a strategy, a set of decisions about the direction the business will take to create a unique mix of value for customers, suppliers, and shareholders. This cannot be a cut, copy, and paste business. It's not enough to create what competitors are doing. The business must derive a clear value proposition from its strategy that gives the business a substantial competitive advantage. Design a business model. To accomplish your strategy, you must design and assemble the various parts of your business in support of your value proposition. You must create a machine, a business consisting of people, processes, and policies. Start trading. Trading takes place within a context where your business engages with external parties, including suppliers, service providers, sales channels, and customers. But before you can set financial goals, you need to understand the commercial context within which you operate. You must come to grips with your business's trade cycle and duration. Implement financial controls. Based on your understanding of the trade cycle and within the context of your business model, you must convert the strategy into plans, set financial goals, and implement systems to monitor progress. Identify sources of capital. At various stages of your business's development, new sources of capital become available. The business must be developed in such a way that new, cost-effective sources of capital becomes accessible. The art of raising capital from financiers and investors. By developing and applying these skills, the entrepreneur can build a business into an asset of value. Thank you for watching. Access the full series. Visit Constructum Online Learning on YouTube or click on the link in the post.